keep the share going to relevant groups.
Okay, hold on. I fucked up somewhere.
Yeah, intro.
No, chat. But yeah, I think, are they hearing us? Can you see
Yeah, audio is going
audio
through.
is going through? Nice, perfect. Alright, no, it was a chat thing. Let me show our faces. And I think we are kind of live. Imon, you look big for some reason. Let me fix you up. Hey guys, welcome. As usual, we're kind of, fucked up. And we have a
Nice.
guest today. But don't mind, this is what happens in Forcecast. Can't complain, can't do shit. So yeah, it's a take it or leave it offer, alright? Okay, Imon, you're fixed. And yeah, welcome to Forcecast, right? Did I see any other shows then? I don't know. Never mind.
No, you said
And
Forcecast.
and our chat looks kind of good. We have added that. I don't know. Yeah, welcome. Sorry we missed the last episode, which was during the Eid, right? We promised that we'll be coming on every Saturday, but yeah, couldn't. I mean, we thought like it's better we give you a better show, a bit more prepared show than just sitting us from home and talking about stuff. So yeah, again, welcome. I think how many? Wow, 7 people were watching. We're really glad, and we have an exciting guest tonight. We have Bishi from League of Legends Indian community. So I'm sure like everyone's in our community knows him. We have Dazai and Wargear, and also we have Mehdi, but he's working in the behind the scenes today. All right. Okay, so guys, how was it? Um, I'm gonna actually ask you this to Bishi. Bishi, how was your Eid? I don't know, like if you guys celebrated there or not, but I'm pretty sure it's a festive day there, right?
Yeah, it is. I think it fell on a Saturday, right? Though, so my office didn't give me an off,
Yeah.
but they compensated by giving me an off on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
And the funny thing is that I did not know it was an off, so I was working from home the whole day, and then I realized halfway through the day that none of my employees are online. So it was kind of funny. But yeah, I mean, it's just as amazing a festival as it is in Bangladesh. People love to celebrate and give each other Eid. So, but with lockdown in my city and in the country, it's not as public, and people just don't go out as much anymore. So everyone's just having a homely, wholesome sort of an Eid going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Imon, how was yours?
Oh, it was classic.
Classic as
Um,
in?
every gamer's life, sleep, game, and obviously participate in the Eid festival, Kurbani. I
Yeah.
went to my uncle's house, and that's it.
Yeah,
Just came back.
I slept the whole day. So yeah, thanks for asking. I had a very exciting dreams and stuff, but it was all in dream, right? I didn't do kind of anything other than yeah, going out for a bit, I guess. Samin, what about you?
Well, I cut cow, I sleep. To put it in short.
I cut cow.
Oh,
I cut cow. Oh my god.
I found no better way to say it though.
at least slaughter. Come on,
Yeah.
cut.
I,
Okay.
Uh,
So guys, we have
Ooh.
an exciting show today. We actually, I mean, a lot happened during the last week, right? So we got our first R6 winners from this region. So Union Gaming own. So that's our headline topic. We also have, I mean, not to brag, but Deimos won something. So yeah, finally we won a title in League of Legends after like forming Deimos for after 2 years. We started our journey with League of Legends, but we never won anything. But first time our boys won something. So I think our curse kind of lifted up or something like that. We are going to talk about it. Also, we are going to talk about new zero trailer that came in. Guys, to be very honest, we are not prepared at all. We just saw the dog that Timon prepared, like for the whole week, and yeah, let's just go one by one and let's see, how it pans out. So
If
yeah,
the shitty topic, just blame Wargear. That's
yeah,
how we
yeah,
do it here.
exactly.
Oh
This is how
wow.
we roll here.
Yeah,
Okay.
man, don't do my boy Warrior like that, man. He had some good topics.
Yeah. So let's start with the one we are comfortable with, right? So Deimos Force on the South Asia Championship League Season 2, organized by, I guess, the Esports Club, TSC, right? And
Yep.
we won against Low 9. I don't think I mean, we won. That should not be the thing. I mean, that should not be the main headline. The headline should be, I mean, why we cursed, right? And, has it been lifted up? Bishi, you have been following league scene for a long, long time here in this region. So, yeah, what's your take on it?
Yeah, I mean, see, the number two curse existed like for so long that it almost became a prophecy at this
Yeah.
point, right? Because every tournament, Deimos Force have managed to successfully come second. It's like, when Team Liquid was always the fourth in LCS, like, our own South Asian scene had with, Deimos was coming second. And the funny thing is, like, they would beat like the toughest teams and come second and just lose after that, right?
Yeah.
So it almost became a meme at this point. And, in this tournament as well, I thought, okay, you know what? We might just see another number two happening. But man, oh man, was I wrong this time? Because even after 4 months of consistently being consistent, Deimos Force like finally broke the curse in very convincing fashion, mind you guys. It was not like, hey, we barely crossed it. They stormed the competition left, right, and center. And I think we need to talk a bit more about how that happened, because definitely between 4 months to now there were roster changes, right? And
Yeah.
as you guys can see, so what are your thoughts, on this new DF? I mean, Shadwan, Pressure, you are the owner of DF, so what was your opinion on this roster change of sending Termi top and then putting our boy Savage, aka 9mm, in the mid lane?
Okay, so I didn't know about like Tarmi is gonna play top. I mean, I kind of knew, there's gonna be some lane switches or something like that. To be very honest, I don't actually get involved in the team micromanagement. So we have like additional captains, for doing that. So they have full autonomy. But I just heard, Forrest kind of told me, okay, they might want to shift Termi to the top lane. So at first I was like, okay, but Termi is a mid laner. To be very honest, I'm not, I have not been playing League for a long time, so I'm not kind of up to date with the scene on what's happening. But I think it kind of played out well, right? I mean, previously we had two teams where Savage or Zion was like in the academy team, but I think that got dismantled right now. So yeah, they introduced Savage in the main roster, and I think Termi was better fit in the top overall.
Yeah, like what I noticed in this squad was a lot of changes happened that gelled really well. I also feel like for a lot of times Forest was missing, and like the team looked extremely different with Forest being the in-game leader, I would say. Because when Forest was back, note that in the quarterfinals and pre-stages, right, of the SACL season 2, Deimos Force weren't having a good game. Like up until the quarters, you couldn't really say that this team is going to win, because they looked extremely shaky. But when you had Forest come in to bring a level of experience, and Forest just played like the Forest that the whole scene knows him to be, right? He's been one of the premier junglers of the scene by far, right? And when he is on his day, there is like very few people that can actually match up to him or stop him, right? And that's what Deimos Force did. Like when Forest was jungle, and they just had some insanely clean macro, which is not something we see from DF often. They're usually the team that goes head in first and says, hey guys, team fight, go. Tommy wants to rotate bot, help Trixis out, and then eventually loses farm and people like know how to play against it. But when you put a guy like Zayan, aka Savage mid, right, he has a much different style from how Tommy plays mid, right? So Zayan is more like, hey, I'm gonna farm up and be relevant and scale because I'm picking like Cassadin and late game scaling champions. And Termi can still do what Termi wants, but he's just playing top. So he'll teleport bot lane with his teleport. He can still play Aatrox. He can still play Silas. So it worked out so well for them. And because every lane is so strong, like Deimos Force's Achilles heel, so to speak, was really their top side of the map, because there was never cohesion on that synergy, right? With Forest and like yes, they were there, but with Termi, because they already had someone who's been playing with this team for more than 4 months now, like they had such good cohesion and synergy that it was just like it was like a well-oiled machine, right? When we
Yeah.
saw them play in the semi-finals, dude, they were like so clean, and they were playing against Sri Lanka's best team. Okay, like they were playing against Lanka Lions, and before the match started, seeing their quarterfinal performance, I'm like, Deimos Force, might not win this. I'm giving them a 60-40 because Lanka Lions looked really strong, and they are a team that plays these really strong team fight heavy combinations, but Deimos Force completely surprised us with how well and clean they executed team fights. Right, Krix is, he's been the most consistent player, but you also have your boy Rusty Panda in the bot lane, always making plays, controlled aggression, mind you, not mindless like before, and just Forest invading the jungle left, right, and center and denying, his opponents completely. And when I saw that DF in the semifinals and they won like 2-0. I was like, you know what, these guys are looking very strong to win it all because they just looked so cohesive as a team. And in the finals, we saw a 3-0 stomp, right? So it wasn't even a close game, right? Like Zayan completely outmatched Shadow in the mid lane. I think Shadow had some pressure or mental nerve issues, maybe, I don't know. Termi did just fine top lane, and then bot lane was just smashing so hard with Crixus just being like a monster, and Forest was on his day, right? Nobody could stop him. So it worked so well as a team that now you feel like this roster definitely seems to be the best in the South Asian scene, right? And well deserved, and kudos to all of them, right? What do you guys think? Because
Yep.
they worked their asses off for like 4 months in competing so many tournaments, and finally they got one that they rightly deserved, like as a team. Like they deserved to win one, and they finally did.
Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna give my take on this like a bit later. I want to hear from Samin because he's been with us from the day one of DF journey, right? And Samin, if you remember, the first team we recruited was from League of Legends, right? So it was kind of like very emotional for me, to be very honest. And I was in my hometown. It was during it. So, and Forrest be like, he messaged me. I remember he messaged me. I know, like, how much it means to you, like out of all the other teams, like league team winning something. Cause yeah, it has a special place in my heart. But Samin, I want to know your take on it.
Dude, the thing is, according to the stats, we should win the finals. But for some weird reason, everyone was like, "We're going to choke."
Yeah.
Even somewhere down in my head, I was like, "Oh my god, we're going to choke."
And we
Because the
choked,
last
right?
final,
Because we have this new roster for the past three tournaments.
yeah.
But we choke like every time. But what I saw, like, I saw the fire in Forest eyes. So what happens like every time they lose and everything, right? I especially BM Forest in a fun way, definitely, right? I BM the hell out of it, right? And he knows it's a fun way, right? It's my way to encourage him. But this time, like, when they lost the other final, the last tournament, he was kind of really down, and I saw him like practicing, right? So I'm not sure, Bishi, if you don't know, like Forrest is the esports manager in the company, right? So he
Yep.
has the responsibility to take care of all the other teams. But I suddenly saw Forrest, like, not kind of attending the office and stuff, right? And not reporting. I
Wow.
was, what were you doing? And I saw him like he's just grinding and playing, right? And I'm like, okay, this is what he should do. And yeah, and at the end of the day, it paid off. At least Forrest grinded really hard for this one.
Well, the thing is, even though he was sad, we still grinded him for almost
Yeah.
half an hour. Then he left Discord. All sad.
Why you gotta do my boy Forest like that, man? Like like
So that happened. But the thing is, after finally winning, it's not like, I mean, let's just talk about the last tournament that happened. The last tournament, when it was happening, I was literally texting Shorbo that, oh my god, we're winning, oh my god, we're winning. And after half an hour, I texted him, we fucked up. Oh my god, we fucked up big time. It's all over.
I think, to be
So,
very honest, I'm the curse person around here, right? So every match I watch, Deimos loses. So what happened, like, until I stopped watching any match, any teams, any match, I just don't watch it anymore.
it's
I
either
know
you
so
or me,
much.
because I also didn't watch the game. And this time, suddenly, all of a sudden, I see Forest, dude, we won. And
Oh
first
my
of all, I
god.
was like, oh, the semis. Then I'm like, oh no, we won the tournament. Holy shit.
No, what
Because it didn't
happened to
process at
me?
first
So
that
my
we actually won an entire tournament.
yeah, my younger brother was actually watching. I mean, the game, and trust me or not, my parents are like very proud of Demos. I never said it anywhere, right? So they kind of now understand what gaming is and everything. So what happened in my home, like they actually put up the game in the TV and they were watching it all together. And I was like, okay, it's our game. We might lose. I went out with my friends in a bike ride. Um, so yeah, that's it. And basically my younger brother was basically texting me on Facebook, we are winning this and winning that. I'm be like, okay, I don't I should I no matter how much I wanted to say it, I basically kept myself off watching because I really felt like, okay, if I watch, they might lose and stuff, right? So I actually kind of joined in I think in the last match. No, I didn't actually join in. I joined in another tournament, not that one. But yeah, then he texted like we won, and then I immediately called Forrest and congratulated him. I tried to talk with my other team members, Panda, Tarmi, but yeah, I was basically not home, right? But yeah, it was a very, very good moment. But yeah, speaking of DF being cursed, I think this gives a very good segue to the other topic we have for the R6, right? So yesterday, Union Gaming won the R6 major close qualifiers. To be very honest, to be very, very honest, I was happy that R6 came into the scene like a proper tournament for this region. When you see like casters from I think they were from where France,
Europe.
they were casting it, right? And I saw Sparko, the star player of the UG, on the big screen with a proper format, and they're talking about Bangladesh, India, or the whole region. I was getting goosebumps. I was sad as well because we know Deimos had the potential to reach that point, right? But again, I mean, I'm not sure, Bish, if you know about the R6 team. I still feel like we have the best roster in the region, and they have the capacity and capability, to be there, to be honest. But yeah, shit happened. We couldn't perform, but that gave me the motivation that I think Deimos should focus hard, play harder, and get to that point. So we have another major coming in. But aside that, what do you think? Like proper esports have come finally, and we have the first finals. Yeah, Samin, go ahead.
I think we should just clarify something. Most of the people might not know why we are talking about this tournament as such a high limelight. This is the first Ubisoft sponsored R6 tournament which actually has an impact in the actual R6 esports. That is why this tournament is so big. That is why everyone is talking about this tournament. It's not just any local or not even a big shot hosting it. It's literally Ubisoft hosting it.
It's so basically, to give the league term, it's basically LEC, LEC or LEC equivalent league, right? So yeah.
Well, still not LEC now, but the team will qualify for LEC if they win this tournament.
Yeah.
That's the better way to put it. So this is a huge step, in my opinion, for esports in this region because we love league, we love everything technically. Everyone loves the game they're playing right now. But R6 is the first game which actually gave us a platform, and we can never deny that.
Yeah, definitely. In mobile games, I think it was PUBG Mobile that gave us the platform, right? With what the open qualifier or something, right? In PMCO or I think they call it. But so in PC games, this is first, I guess. Yeah.
For PC games, this is definitely a big thing because we've had Dota teams from India, from Bangladesh, from Sri Lanka. We've had like CS:GO. Right? These are the two primary PC games that we were trying to build an esports scene. And yeah, we had a great local scene, but we've never been able to put someone in like a TI or like one of the CS:GO majors. We've never had that little accomplishment yet, and partly is because like our own esports scene in South Asia has not been as developed as Eastern Europe, Eastern countries or the Western countries that matter, right? China's esports scene is great, as is North America and Europe, right? There's facilities, there's esports orgs, and in India and Bangladesh, we have these very few people out there doing things. But now we are seeing a shift, right? A paradigm shift of sorts, and this is great news for our scene as a whole. Like the fact that we're able to now field a team, and the thing that I love most is that this team is a Sri Lankan organization with players from India and Bangladesh. So it's like a mix of South Asia.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And it's so wholesome to think like that, like, okay, it's not like this only Indian teams, only Bangladesh teams. This is like three different countries have come together to create like this one captain planet of sorts, and they have been now proven that they are the best team in
Yeah.
South Asia, and they're going to carry forward the tournament to Montreal. So this is great for the scene as a whole, and what we want is to see more of such opportunity, that we want organizations from India, from Bangladesh, to understand that esports is here to stay, to give opportunities, because all of the youth right now is interested in gaming in some form or fashion. And only when these things grow at a much larger scale is where the whole country can take it as a seriously as a sport, right? And I'm like, only through performances like these, like if they go out and do really well for the majors, and they come like top 4 or top 8 or whatever, then they literally will put India and Bangladesh on the map. And then people will be like, oh, you know what? This is legitimately a thing. Gaming is just not for fun playing Candy Crush on your phones, right? This is actually a sport. People can get paid, and you can, compete against the best people in the world. So, hopefully these guys do really well in the next qualifier set that they have, and hopefully we keep producing such talent, because we need a lot more of these highlight performances across a variety of esports
Yeah.
for both our countries to like actually take it seriously, right? Especially for PC desktop. I think for mobile, like you said, we are pretty much set. I think we'll talk about PUBG later, but mobile we are like already there because of PUBG Mobile as a whole. But for PC gaming, yeah, man, we need to have Valorant come in, CS:GO come in. We need to like hone and create these homegrown players who can compete against the best in the world.
Speaking of works coming to the to this in this part of the world, Southeast Asia especially, I have a gut feeling that 2020 and 2021 will be the year like when we'll be seeing major orgs coming in and promoting the
Mhm.
Yeah.
region. I exactly don't know why, cause Bishi, you have worked with Riot Games before, right? We know like League is not getting it yet. Our own server tournaments or way to participate in there. But what about the other new games that Riot launched? What about Valorant? What about Wild Rift, right? So do you have any inside news or anything that you can share?
Well, I don't have any inside news because there is no inside news. I think we are pretty much the focus for South Asia has been identified as for two primary games at this point. One will be Valorant, and the good news is that Valorant is getting its own dedicated India server, which obviously will give out like the best pings for people from Bangladesh as well. And the fact that we have our own server for a game, which R6 also had struggles, I remember, which CS:GO is the only one that has it. But to have our own dedicated server with Riot's ecosystem of esports, which is honestly the best managed ecosystem out there because of how well they're
Yeah.
able to conduct tournaments, grow people, and regulate things. If we have our own South Asia server, which means that in the future there could be a potential Valorant World Championships, and then India and Bangladesh will have slots via the South Asia server, right? So now we can actually have the ability to send a team to Worlds, which for League of Legends we never did because India and Bangladesh, South Asia was never represented as a region. We could not participate in the Singapore tournaments because the
Yeah.
eligibility was different. And the other thing is obviously going to be Wild Rift, right? So Riot has already explained how they want to bring the best possible experience for the market that is suitable for our region, which is primarily mobile.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that they're able to get Wild Rift, which is the best IP of League of Legends so far, League of Legends itself, and give it in a way where our market can understand and play it rather than on PC, seem like the way for them to go, which makes a lot of sense because if you look at both our countries, right, there's an insane amount of mobile audience. Mobile gaming is out of this world, like mad viewership.
Yeah.
PUBG Mobile streamers get more viewers than your US Twitch streamers like Shroud. When Mortal streams, he hits like 150,000 people watching. When Scout, OP streams, he gets 100,000 people. These are not rookie numbers, and the fact that India, and it's like mobile, everyone has a freaking mobile phone, right? So the fact they can do that is like a really big market, and I think that's what even Riot is looking to tap into with Wild Rift. And obviously there's other games that have niches like Teamfight Tactics and Legends of Runeterra that will be supported for us. But the great news is that companies like Riot are finally looking at India as a potential market, which they never did for League of Legends back in the day, right? So now that we have those things, it's really up to us to make the most of it, to create a wholesome community, to create the best players, and then to make an ecosystem for esports that can thrive in this competition, and hopefully, we can send more people to at the World Championships and grow with it. So that's like the goal that we all are looking at with Riot literally coming to India in that sense.
Okay, I'm gonna actually bring up a controversial topic now. All right. I mean, and I want your honest opinion in this. Okay, just think about for a second what I'm gonna say right now. Do you think PC gamers are minority in South Asia?
Well, I'm gonna answer not with my opinion, but just with numbers. Simple facts. PUBG Mobile has 500 million downloads throughout the world. Out of that, 120 million downloads are from India alone. It has more downloads in India than China. So there are more people playing PUBG Mobile in India than there are in China, right? If you look at CS:GO numbers, they barely cross a million. They barely cross like 5 lakhs, and then you have like 500,000 whatever, and you have like 5 million, 10 million daily actives on PUBG Mobile, right? So the numbers speak for themselves, Shardwan. Like there is no denying that mobile esports is the market that everyone's tapping in. This is why brands like TSM, Fnatic, well-known esports orgs that have LOL and CS:GO teams and Dota 2 teams, they are coming here and not forming a LOL team or a CS:GO. They're forming PUBG Mobile teams, right? Because they know that this is where the numbers are. Like there are people who are hitting 1 million subs like it's nothing at all. So the fact that unfortunately or fortunately, this is the reality of our situation, that the mobile market is here to stay, and the mobile market is what everyone is focusing on because that's the big number. The good news is that because the mobile market, it also affects the PC market, because a lot of people who play games in general also later transition to playing PC games. So PC games tends to grow at this point, but the fact that everything in our region is really being driven by mobile gaming, at least in terms of brand sponsorships and collaborations and investors coming in and supporting it, is just due to the mobile scenario. And I don't know, but what are your thoughts on what do you guys think of this thing? Because it is a fact. It's not even controversial, Shadon. It's literally a fact. There are
The reason there is a
yeah.
second part of the question, right? So anything new is kind of scary, right? And to us gamers, so far the war was between PC versus console, and
Oh,
Oh,
and now there is mobile, right? So I know people, and just I'm just gonna be very honest. Some of us, the traditional gamers who plays in PC, don't even consider them gamers, right? It is truth, right? When you have
yeah.
conversations with your friends, you'll find those kind of people, and it's a new thing, and I get it. It's kind of scary. I mean, giving that acceptance. What is your take on it? Like, do you think we should call mobile gaming, I mean, those esports professional, respect for them, like as proper gamer or entertainer? I mean, how would you categorize it? How would you label it?
I mean, honestly, like if there's a tournament for Candy Crush, then I have no
Mm-hmm.
respect for someone who's winning Candy Crush tournaments. But mobile esports is actually not that simple as people think, and there's always going to be purists, right? Like the
Yeah,
problem with our gaming community, honestly, a lot of time is elitism. Very
yeah.
like I'm not trying to be controversial, but like Dota 2 always feels it's superior to LoL. People feel like CS:GO is superior to R6. There's always been that elitism between gamers ourselves. So then imagine like everyone's under the PC gaming banner, and suddenly, you and I, we are all PC gamers, and suddenly like mobile game comes in, and mobile games are like the one getting all of the attention, all of the love, all of the money, and you can't help feel salty about it. Like, why is my game or like actual proper gaming not considered? But when you look at mobile games, you realize that it's no longer Candy Crush anymore, right? There are really good games that require skill, that require strategy. PUBG Mobile is by far not a easy game to play. Like I've tried to play it. Like people play with 4 fingers.
Yeah.
There are like different terms. So like, do you play with 4 fingers? Do you play with 2 fingers? Or
Or
do you play with three
gyro, right?
fingers? Yeah,
The
different
grip or
different
the
claw
claw,
grips,
and
different.
there, yeah.
Exactly. So there are like
But
so many different aspects. How you saying?
I think the problem is the box. We as people, not even as gamers, like to box stuff. For example, people have their own boxes. For example, some people like a different genre of music and they will say the other music is trash. So to them, I'm not saying that telling people that the other music is trash is a fault, but telling people that that is not music is the fault. We as gamers love some games and we consider it to be competitive, but we can never say that this game is not a game. to someone it might be a game, and he's right. It's a fucking game. There is nothing to debate about here. And for some weird reason, we love to compete about this stuff. This is this, this is that, this is it, this is that. So I think it's high time we come out of that box. There
No,
is nothing
but
to box up.
I don't want your theology in it. I want your opinion. Like, how would you level this huge mobile gaming market? Right? I get it, but is it the same thing? Like, do you feel like playing on your phone is equivalent enough to playing in your PC and competing in the same level?
The thing is, what do you think about game? That comes into play over here. Is that a game? Yes, it is a game. If they're playing on a mobile, who gives a fuck? They're playing a game. They're a gamer in my book. I mean, you can be playing Candy Crush 24/7 in a mobile phone and you'll still be a gamer. I have no right to say you are not a gamer. As long as you're playing a game, you're a fucking gamer. I think no one has the right to say you are not a gamer. Stop boxing people. That is the main thing of
Yeah,
it. But yeah, the main question over here is the market they brought in, right? For example, I'm pretty sure even post-corona, or I guess before corona came, if we go out, there will be 2 or 3 people even in Bangladesh playing PUBG Mobile everywhere. Sitting in the road, just sitting in the road. Street side, man, you'll see them in tongs, you'll see them in coffee shops. Every layer of society you'll find them. That is the most impressive part.
Samin, do you know there's a PUBG Mobile ad in TV? My mind just got fucked because I mean I
Oh,
don't
no.
watch TV, and this time I went to home and I saw a PUBG Mobile ad in TV in like major channels. They're playing it.
Okay.
Oh my
The
god,
thing
I had
is
no
that-
idea.
that it
But-
doesn't matter. It has aim assist. You can play it in anywhere too. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, but yeah, it's there and it took over the market just because of its player base. Unfortunately, we don't have that much player base in other competitive games. For example, if we had that much of a player base in League of Legends, India, Bangladesh, whichever the region, I'm pretty sure we would have had a faker by now. I am pretty sure. I'll bet my money we would have had a faker by now. If that many people played a game, because the one thing about competitive gaming is the more the people play the game, the better the players get. So the huger pool of people, the better the players. For example, why did Korea dominate the league scene? Because they had a fucking huge pool of players. They had these small rooms where 5 players were spamming the game all day. Why did Fnatic and C9 get brushed off? I mean, these were the top teams before the worlds, the actual worlds, with all the region came in. Why did they didn't even stand a chance, just being honest, right? When first Korea came into the scene. Why? Just because of the Korean player pools. There were so many players, so they adapted so many different strategies. Right. So that's how it works in my. And yeah, if PUBG Mobile have that much of a player base in Bangladesh, or India will have the best players of PUBG Mobile period. That is why TSM is running in. That is why Fnatic is running in over here. It's not only because to grab the market, it's also because they will have some really good players from this scene. More players, more strategy, more skill. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So what's
and-
your take on it, Timon?
We got two comments. Naga Krauser says in mobile AOV is having a monsoon tourney sponsored by the game itself, hosted by CCE. Plus, this tourney comprises of MISP and SE region, so things are looking good for the mobile scenario. Most of the abbreviations I didn't understand what he's saying about, but I think it's something big is happening.
Arena of Valor,
I think MLB
Crowd Control
mentioned.
Esports, South Asia, and Middle East, and I don't know what MISP is, but it like Maldives. I have no idea what the MISP is. I'm gonna Google that actually. Let me see.
Izanagi
I
says,
think
"You think
yeah.
you are better better by playing PC games? We are not lucky
This-
like you two on PC, bro." We
Which
are
is
not
such a
saying
great
that.
point, right? Like, I
Yeah.
actually agree with him completely. Like, we are trying to be elitists here, and we're trying to gatekeep saying, "Hey, PC games better." Like, bro,
Yeah.
nobody can afford a gaming PC. It costs a lot of money to build a gaming PC. It costs 1/5 the amount to buy a phone and play, right? And everyone has to have a phone because phone can do 100 different things that a PC doesn't, right? Call people, chat people, whatever, right? So, like, the consensus, I think, from what I'm hearing from Dazai and Pressure and all of you guys is like, we need to stop gatekeeping. We need to stop, Dazai
Yeah.
said, keeping people in a box. We need to be open in our minds because, believe it or not, mobile gaming in India is carrying esports as a whole. So if there was no mobile game, there wouldn't even be a Fnatic or TSM, right? The fact that at least we're
Yeah.
getting something when nobody gave a shit about South Asia as a whole is promising, right? And if you don't like it, that's completely fine. It's great to have an opinion. You don't If it's not for you, it's not for you. But you can definitely not deny that it is here to stay, and it is loved by a lot more people than you might think, right? So mobile gaming is definitely not going to is just going to continue to grow, and all the purists for PC gamers out there eventually will have to come terms to reality that PC mobile esports is a legitimate esport. It's not like, oh, anyone can make it. If you think so, you can try it and see if you can beat it. It's not that easy. It has the same competition levels that you see on PC. It has the same difficulty levels to get better. It's not that simple and straightforward anymore. Like it's basically very complex to learn to be the best, even if it's a mobile game.
Yeah, I was
Uh,
playing devil's
I-
advocate here throughout the time. As I mentioned, right? I think I just wanted to say to Zanagi, right? I was not complaining like, you guys are not gamers or something like that. I just wanted to bring up the conversation first. Second, again, to the gamers community, right? The two words were console versus PC. Now we have to be considering mobile as well. No matter what, they're gonna stay here, right?
uh,
And yeah, they're just gonna play. So I think
So
the dynamics are just
uh,
gonna change a lot.
so what's the
the
lineup?
main So
Console versus
let me
PC.
just no. Let me just first end the thing. I think something might have come out wrong because it is completely fine for a human being or any gamer to say another game is shit. For example, if a PC gamer says PUBG Mobile is shit, that is completely fine. A mobile gamer saying League of Legends is shit or Valorant is shit is also completely fine. But the thing we need to come in terms with is PUBG Mobile is still a game. It's a
Yeah,
esports.
yeah,
And
definitely.
they also have to come in terms with League of Legends, Valorant. These are also esports. So you can obviously hate a game. You can feel free to hate any game you want. That's your personal opinion. CS:GO players be like R6 is shit. Dota players be like League of Legends is shit. League players be like League is the new Dota. Dota is shit. So this should go on. It's a fun thing to have. It's a fun chat to have. But to say that Dota 2 doesn't exist, it's not a esports, it's just fucking dumb. Right. We can't do that. It is here and same as PUBG Mobile, Mobile Legends Bang Bang, and in future, hopefully, Wild Rift. That's going to be a huge topic. Next. So yeah,
Yeah,
Imon, you can say whatever
yeah.
you wanted.
And Bishi was mentioning he was mentioning the availability part, like because of the availability, I think the mobile esports is growing because you can play mobile games on almost any devices, regardless of the setup and stuff. And I think from India, a player went to some kind of measure from PUBG, right? Hello?
So for PUBG PC or mobile?
Mobile.
Mobile.
Oh, so the PUBG mobile scene is insane right now, right? So
It was huge. I saw it on Talkie Sports, I think.
yeah. So what's happening right now with PUBG Mobile, just to overview, is like there are two world championships happening. So, kudos to Tencent because even after COVID, right, they've been able to make a world happen by literally segregating East and West into two different, two different regions, and they made sure that everyone's playing on the same ping through internal testing. And there's a 2 month long tournament that's going on. In fact, it's still the finals are going on. So today's the third day and tomorrow's the last day. And there are 5 or 6 Indian teams along with like 16 other teams from SCA who are a part of it. And it's really really big right now, right? And it's really competitive as well. And it's hitting like insane numbers, 200,000 people watching at the same time, which is not something you see often,
Yeah,
even for esports, right? So
yeah.
PUBG Mobile has a very very, for India at least, it has such a well developed esports scene as compared to anything that we've ever seen for any other game right now. And it's hella fun to watch also, like you'd be surprised to see that people are actually just watching these games, and people are supporting their teams, and their Instagram followers are like 200,000, 500,000. Their
Wow.
YouTube channels are crossing 1 million subscribers. There's a guy called TSM Entities Jonathan. He's considered the best fragger in PUBG Mobile. This guy literally wins MVP every week because of how good he is. And he whenever he streams, he has 200,000 people watching him, dude. Like it's insane. Like who would
Yeah.
have thought in our scene, 200,000. Like if in tournaments we ever hit 1,000 people, will be happy, right? Imagine 200 times that viewership on a freaking guy watching playing something on his phone. But so it's really really big right now, and it's on a very great stage right now because the finals are happening and a lot of people are supporting the local teams. But the Indonesian team is just too good. They're called Bigatron Red Aliens, and they won last year as well. Consider them like the SKT T1 of PUBG Mobile. They won last year very convincingly. This year also they're sitting at the top, might win again, but the only difference is they're from Indonesia. So it's fun to, like, you know what, it's really fun to root for teams from your own region. Like, you know how for R6 we are really excited that there's a team from India and Bangladesh. Like, you feel some level of, you know, patriotism, or, you know, or wholesomeness, that okay, this is one of our guys who's won it, right? So it's the same feeling on PUBG Mobile. Like, there's a lot of Indian teams, so you really feel like rooting for these guys, because how often do you ever see our region's teams, you know, at the upper echelon of tournaments, right? Pakistan is known well for this because they have an insanely good Tekken player who always wins championships. So every country has these one or two players or one or two, you know, teams that are just there at the global level, and I think that's like the fun aspect for me to watch, and that's what we are all waiting for, right? Like, we're all waiting to see one day we can hit, you know, that level of players and grow them, so that in every tournament and every game, you know, we have people from South Asia being in the top 4, the top 5, right, competing against the Europeans, the Americans, the Chinese, etc.
Yeah, I think this was one of our topic, the first Forcecast, right? The geopolitical issue right now with India and China, and India banning like a lot of apps. So, like, do you think it might affect PUBG? Because Indian army already banned it, as we saw in the news.
Yeah, so very controversial, and you know, I manage and admin the Wild Rift India group as well, and this is like the most annoying question that pops up every day. Will Wild Rift get banned because PUBG is under scanner? Will Wild Rift get banned? Will Wild Rift get banned? And I have to clarify, guys, it won't. Like, but coming back to your first question about PUBG, yes, PUBG is currently distributed and managed by Tencent. The data that you enter on a PUBG app, yes, it will be stored in servers in China. So it's entirely possible that, you know, India feels that this data is not safe in the hands of, you know, for security and patriotic reasons, you know, secularist reasons, whatever. But what PUBG have announced is that they are going to make sure that the data centers for all the Indian players will be in India itself. As a way, as a preemptive way for the government to be like, hey, you know what, you know, you can't catch us because we are not keeping your data in China anymore. We're going to keep your data in India itself. Note that if they do what they do to PUBG, as what they did to a game, an app called TikTok, which had 500 million users, there's going to be a lot of hatred amongst players. So, you know, the government also has to be very sensitive in how it approaches these things, and Tencent also has to be really smart, because if Tencent starts getting banned out, then yeah, you know, the Arena of Valor, there are so many games that just get deleted from the App Store, and the whole government might just end up creating such a big mess for all the youngsters, you know, who at this time of COVID are just left with the devices to play. So yeah, it's a bit of a security measure because of, like you said, geopolitical issues. But in all likeliness, the chances of a PUBG mobile getting banned are very less, especially after their announcement that they just said they'll keep the data centers stored in India itself. So the security threat that people think that is being imposed might just be lessened. And coming back to if Riot Games will do that, there's absolutely no chance, because the game is distributed and published by Riot Games. Tencent is just the holding owner.
Company.
Yeah, they are not the ones who have the data, and the relationship between Riot and Tencent has always been such that Tencent has given them full freedom to do what they want. They are just here to read, like, the, you know, suggest certain things, but they'll never intervene in what Riot wants to do outside of China. Whenever something happens inside China, yes, Tencent plays in, but anything outside of China, now, Tencent does not interfere in how they want to manage their operations, and this is confirmed by a Rioter who used to work for Riot, Daniel Z. Klein. He had a Reddit post where he mentioned all this. So I'm not just saying these things out of my ass. Like, I'm saying this because I've read the facts about the situation, and the fact that, you know, if we are coming under the MENA region, which is Middle East and India, then we will be governed by laws from NEI, which is that our data will also be stored in either India or Dubai, which will not be stored in China. So there's absolutely no threat for people to be worried about Wild Rift getting banned or any of Riot's games getting banned. Also add to the fact that there's already 2 apps by Riot that are on the Play Store. TFT and LOR, they have not been banned. So why would Wild Rift get banned, right? But people love to speculate. This is what, boredom does to people. They just like, oh, PUBG get banned, and it's just false news, fake journalism, people clickbaiting for views on YouTube. Like, I've seen it all, honestly. Like, people are like, India, Wild Rift banned India. There's a guy doing a YouTube called Wild Rift banned India, and then he adds a question mark at the end. Oh, trying to say, oh, I'm just assuming what happens. And like, fuck off, bro. I mean, it's just blatant clickbait in the name of fake journalism and views. That's all that's happening at this point. So yeah, we're all safe. PUBG Mobile seems to be safe as well, and hopefully once we get past this, we can just focus back on the game that we all enjoy to play and love.
Yeah,
Another question I want to ask Bishi, bro. Did you know Riot has like confirmed a deal with Chinese video site or something like that, Bill or something like that for LOL Worlds, if you have seen it.
Yeah, so again, people need to understand that this is only for broadcasting rights.
Yeah, exactly.
So right now, Tencent is like your big daddy. Tencent is like the Google. Right? Tencent is like, I own everything in the world. They own parts of PUBG. They own parts of Fortnite. They own parts of like literally half the games in the world that you can think of. Just that they only own 100% of Riot. And they partnered with BuBu Game. I think BuBu was it. Like, one of the biggest broadcasting partners for the relationship. And that's only because even after the pandemic, Riot is said that they're going to have worlds. And they're going to do it in Shanghai.
Shanghai.
In a very black box situation where there'll be just one zone, people will stay there quarantined as hell and just have a tournament. And to compensate for this year not being a success, next year also will be in China, post which the next one will be in the US. So I mean, these are all sponsorships, partnerships, but these in any way do not mean that that Riot is just like a puppet in the hands of Tencent, and they just are at their mercy or things like that. Like, the relationship is honestly very not that complimentary. They just like do their own thing, from what I've seen at least. So but it's a great thing that they're doing it in China, because China has a great infrastructure for a lot of esports. You'd be surprised of how well there are games like Royal Never Give Up, Top Esport. There's so many amazing facilities. Like, they have buildings with like training rooms and facilities and stuff like that. Like, esports in China is at an all-time high. So it makes sense that they feel like China would be a great place to do worlds, in a way that is secure for everyone to watch.
All right. So speaking of like, making games, we have a new Bangladeshi game coming out. It's gonna be a competitive shooter game. Yeah. Okay. I just did a wrong screen. So let's watch the intro that we. I think not. It's a trailer, I guess. It's a second trailer. This game is coming out on Steam. I'm not sure, Bishi, if you have heard about it, but let's watch it together. And yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
Created by M7 Productions and Atrito, 0 Hour aims to bring you tactical realism with their flagship online competitive multiplayer shooter. Players can expect various different ways to engage the enemy, whether it be a loud entry where players breach the door to let the enemy know they're coming, or a stealthy approach where players initiate a complete blackout without giving away their position. In this video, we aim to cover all the features available in 0 Hour. The game features door mechanics where the player can cycle between 3 states: closed, slightly open, and completely open as you press the interaction button. Or if you want to get a little noisy, we added the option of a ballistic breach, as long as the player equips a shotgun. We have more plans on door breach mechanics which will add in the near future, such as breaching charges and other explosive methods of entry. Now, the playing table has 4 specific uses: drawing throughout the map, placing markers to indicate entry points or danger, and choosing the spawn during the preparation phase. It also allows the players to be able to see any sort of enemy interactions or the bomb pulse.
I think Samin didn't feed his cat.
One very important
Yeah, I'm hearing
feature is
cat
the ability to
noises.
steal enemies' weapons. Do note, as security forces, if you die and leave your weapon system behind, expect it to be used against you. It is not removed from the match, but it's added to the opponent's inventory. This places emphasis on resource management and weapon choice before entering the battleground. In the selection phase, where you can choose your desired weapons and gadgets, it's important to take account for your arsenal.
So it's kind of basically not a trailer. It's kind of a kind of an walkthrough.
How terrorists
It's a
attack
one-on-one
Iraq and
gameplay
how the
video.
advantage will
Yeah.
give a chance of winning the next.
Yeah, the
So
trailer was released long ago.
yeah, I
It's
don't
the
know why they
third or fourth
made
one.
it a trailer. So they kind of explained it.
Is located
But I mean, we couldn't get the key. I'm definitely gonna purchase it and play it. We all are gonna. So what do you think? We have seen some guys playing the game and stream it. What's your take? I mean, how excited are you? What have you seen? Same goes for Imon.
now.
And Bishi, to give you a context, this is a tactical shooter, online multiplayer, like Rainbow Six Siege or kind of Valorant, but tactical, right?
Yeah.
Made by a Bangladeshi company, and you know,
Yeah.
our whole nation is very crazy about it. And so far, they have, I think, given us a pre-release version. So some people got that key and they played it, and the reviews are so far positive. So yeah, you kind of say it's a R6 variation. I mean, of a Bangladeshi game or something like that. I think the locations are in Dhaka. It's a kind of hostage rescue scenario.
Oh, that's actually cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and guess what the price is?
We're running around and
They
shooting.
actually
nine-
released price.
9.99.
The realistic
INR? Maybe. Yeah,
Yeah,
I remember the same thing.
Satun bhai, on point. Yeah, it's
9.99?
kind of it's gonna be kind of like that. Yeah, it's gonna be kind of like that. $12 to $10 somewhere between that. And if they have like a standard version and stuff like that, then it's gonna be like standard version is going to be $6 or something like that. And Satun bhai, you were asking questions about how the game is going to be, like
Yeah.
how the droning and stuff. In this is not actually a trailer. You're right about that. It can actually they explained everything.
Yeah, they
How
kind
the
of
game
explain.
is-
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a 101 of the game.
There is
yeah.
also new mechanics.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be that perfect. I don't know. I don't know what you guys think about it, but I'm gonna tell you guys. So the weapon system is kind of like this. They're gonna give you weapons, okay? Three to four weapons, including a weapon like M4, another kind of like SMG, and another is mech like Uzi. So once you use that weapon, and if you die in that round, I don't think you can select that weapon again. You have to select another weapon. And there is also that shotgun. So in every round, you're going to have to switch weapons. You're forced to switch weapons. So this is the mechanics they're going for. And yes, they're still considering that light and dark gameplay. No drones. Yeah.
Yeah, just finish. You're done.
No drones, and it's gonna be heavily emphasis on the shield character. One guy with a riot shield, he's gonna go forward and sweep every room. There is no droning system whatsoever. And yes, there is still bug with the hostage mode. Everybody is not that much pleased with the hostage mode, but the bomb mode is really good.
So
The search
I
and
mean,
destroy.
the tag they got
I'll-
basically it's a ripoff of R6. It is not then. I mean, if there is no droning, your force, it's a kind of a
no.
different game overall, right?
Yeah.
I think if I add this thing, it will be most clear. The bomb match is in that match. The bomb is actually on the hostage.
Yeah.
So the mechanics is completely different. You can change the position of the bomb by just dragging the hostage around the map. You can change the position of the hostage. As a result, the bomb position change.
Oh.
This is both an advantage and a disadvantage, and the life mechanics is really good according to the YouTubers. The only bad thing about this game, or the only one of the major lackings, is the graphics, and they openly admitted they didn't have the budget of the developers to give that much high quality graphics, but what they provided is playable.
But what I
It is
saw,
more-
the graphics was actually pretty good. At
Yeah.
least the textures and stuff. That was actually kind of top notch. I liked it.
That's
Especially-
not top notch.
Especially,
That's not top notch.
especially,
But
I'm
there
not
is no
sure if
better
you,
one.
if I'm not sure if you have seen this. The inside room and everything, they kind of actually made it pretty good, and they kind of made it look like kind of desi, to be honest. The
They made it
carpeting, the
decent.
walls and everything. I was watching
Yeah.
TSA News stream the other day, and I think he was maxed it up and everything. And I kind of liked it, to be honest. I mean, in some point, it was much more polished than some R6 maps, to be honest. But then again, R6 maps are completely destructible and all the stuff. So there's that. But from I kind of got a AAA title feeling, to be honest.
what do you think about the weapon system, dude? It kind of gives me that
No, the animations,
CS:GO vibe.
the animations were not good.
No,
I
no,
was
no,
not fan of it. The I
not
mean the
that.
weapon, how they interact when you change it and everything. It kind of look amateurish. Uh, but yeah.
Not that mechanic, Sadun bhai.
Mhm.
I was talking about that mechanic where you get to pick the weapon. If you lose that round, you don't get to use that weapon for
It's a
like 2 rounds
tactical
or
choice,
so.
I guess, right?
Yeah.
I can tell when I play it. To be very honest, I only have seen other people playing it, so I cannot really comment on it yet. Okay, speaking
And
of
there,
games and tactical shooters, guys, we have been talking for about an hour. Let's kind of wrap it up quicker and faster.
Okay.
Speaking of tactical shooters, we have a new news from Valorant. So, no new patch drop. Let me kind of share my screen quickly. So this original article was from NME. Valorant 1.05 patches includes massive raise nerfs matchmaking update. So what I can tell for sure, like the Valorant sucks right now. Speaking, especially for the connection drop issues. And I have been playing with Forest, like, and other people I play with, our Valorant Academy guys, like they were complaining like the connection drops like every now and then, and it is a server issue. It has nothing to do with the game itself. There were
Oh,
some
really?
fixes with you could just uninstall Vanguard. I personally did it. It didn't happen. I tried VPN, all the stuff you can do, and I basically stopped playing like 2 days ago. I think it was at its peak 2 days ago, but did they release some updates?
I think it's fine now. They've been consistent updates every day
Yeah,
for the SK server. So I played yesterday, I think 2-3 games. I was pretty fine. So I
I
think
was
it's
talking
fine. The
about
the
one day.
first couple
Yeah,
of days of the server, like 3 days ago when the server was updated, yeah, there were a lot of issues.
yeah.
But should be fine now. At least from when I checked it, it was fine for me. So
Okay,
the good
so
news
what
is
are
the
the
patch. Yeah.
updates here? The new patch. So Killjoy
The
is there, right?
Yeah, the biggest thing is Killjoy. Like she's a new agent in the game, and she's not a new agent per se because Riot has been testing her even before they released Breach. But her ultimate is like an insanely good zoning tool, and she's more of a controller agent, like how Cypher is. And I like her a lot. Like I'm already looking to unlock her as soon as I can because her grenades and her ultimates are really really fun to play.
I
So
have unlocked her, and dude, she is a pain in the ass. I got like 2 Killjoys in 2 ranked matches. The enemy Killjoy always fucks everyone up, and my Killjoy is
disarm.
always shit. I mean, I think this is the most OPS
So
champion right now in Valorant.
Oh,
I'll
oh,
tell you. I'll tell you why you think that is because it's like how when anyone, whenever in league also some new champion gets released, because you don't know how to play her or how to play against
Against
her,
her, yeah.
you just don't know, right? And the thing is like give it enough time and people will know how to play against her. Like it's the same when Reyna came out. Everyone thought Reyna is like broken on release. Oh my god, she can heal back to 150 HP after she kills someone. What bullshit is this champion? Whatever. And
Sadun.
after later on,
Yeah.
like oh my god, who picks Reyna unless you're playing solo queue, right? So
Yeah.
with her, I feel her ultimate's insanely good for zoning, and she can single-handedly win certain rounds with just her ultimate. But give it enough time, and
I
people will
think the
get used
OPS
to
thing
it.
is the grenades, man. Not the
Yeah,
turrets, not the ultimates. The
yeah,
grenades.
that
Like they
it
just put it
is.
there, they plant it, they rush in. You plant it, you just have a grenade, and you cannot do
Yeah,
anything about it.
there's one video on how you can set up your grenades on bind on B, and the way you set it, it's impossible for you to invade B, like invade the B side of bind. It's insanely hard. And yeah, man, like I think she's going to get some nerfs perhaps, but just the way that she's playing right, like she is right now, she's looking damn fun to play, and people just do not know how to play against her. So people who do know how to play her are gonna have a really fun time. I also like to introduce deathmatch, by the way, because this was a much needed
Yeah.
mode in the game for sure.
Yeah. I haven't played it yet because I just play ranks when I want to. I mean, I just wanted to grind it and try it in a competitive level and get the feel. But I'm gonna definitely try it. I know Samin was like kind of pushing me to play some deathmatch, but I get the idea, right? You just have to be top at the leaderboard if you wanna chill. Speaking of nerfs that I
So,
think Killjoy should get, and which Ray's already got. Okay, I'm
This was a little
talking from
broken, I
a
feel.
I play Raze a lot. From that point of view, I didn't feel any difference, to be honest. And this actually made me ask this question: does it matter, like some percentage buff or nerves, like 10 points down or something like that? That has an impact on league. Will actually have a greater impact in Valorant.
It's a very
not
good
much.
question. So what they did, the change to her hull that she takes a little more time to get it up.
Yeah.
So if in that 1 second or half a second of delay, if you're able to kill the race before she can get her ult